The southern Algarve region is the crown jewel of Portugal. It's got a stunning coastline, fantastic caves, and incredible weather. Always nice. And the waves there are a surfer's dream come true. Even SoCal natives would love to surf the coast. There are so many activities in Algarve: relaxing, on beaches, discovering caves, visiting old towns, historical towns, and even shopping near the Spanish border. And if you're thinking right now, shopping near the Spanish border, is that an attraction? Yes, it actually is. Even the shopping here is exciting. But we're gonna go ahead in this video and talk about the best things to do in Algarve. And I will say, my Portuguese is a little bit worse than my French, and my French is terrible. So keep in mind some things might be slightly different. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and even share with your family and friends that love traveling, because we're gonna talk about this awesome location, and it's one that you definitely cannot miss. So let's start out here with number 10 on our list, the Vila Real de Santo Antonio. Again, my Portuguese is not fantastic, but I think I got pretty close. And this location is about as close to Spain as you can possibly get without crossing the border. And for this reason, what's pretty awesome about this location is Spanish and Portuguese are both spoken here. Now, Vila Real de Santo Antonio's stores and markets are targeted at tourists from Spain, so a lot of people coming over from Spain here, but there are lots of other sites that you've got to see. There's an interactive display, for example, that's open to the public, and the absolutely amazing Arquivo Histórico Municipal, again, my Portuguese needs a little work, which is located on Avenida de Réplica, actually gives you a fantastic rundown of the region's almost extinct sardine and tuna canning industry. Trust me, it's way more interesting than it sounds. This area also features the Praça Marquês de Pombal, which is actually a fantastically beautiful square which features a giant obelisk slightly taller than Shaquille O'Neal and a mosaic that surrounds it. It is stunning. You can also take a ferry to the Spanish border town of Ayamonte. Now, this town has tons of tapas eateries, and this place has super authentic delicatessens. The ferry journey crosses the river Guadiana, and you can also take your car with you. It's about a 20-minute ride. 10 minutes to the north, via car, is the Castro Marim, which is an evergreen village. Again, it's absolutely stunning. This has giant ramparts, and it also provides great views of a nearby natural park, which is the Reserva Natural do Cepal. Again, I apologize for my Portuguese, I'm working on it. Number 9, Alarcon. Now, this is located at the interior of eastern Algarve, and unlike other areas, it's really arid and it's not very populated. For this reason, it's really not listed on tourism websites, and I gotta say right now, this is some exclusive info, so make sure that you listen up and stay tuned for this update. Alarcon, which is a gorgeous border community, is about 40 kilometers north of Vila Real. And it may sound like quite a drive, but the drive itself is gorgeous. The road follows the Guadiana River very, very closely, and this is actually the natural border between Portugal and Spain. And it looks like everything was painted by a Renaissance artist. It was once ruled by the Greeks, the Romans, and also the Arabs. And this was where a peace agreement was signed in 1371, about 700 years before AirPods were invented, by the way, between King Fernando I of Portugal and King Enrique II of Castile. Here you can also find the Spanish community of Sanlúcar de Guadiana, which is located on the bank of the river just nearby. Overall, this area is still quiet and peaceful and sometimes downright sleepy, but you know what? That's a great thing. It is super relaxing. Number 8, Tavira. Tavira is one of the most attractive towns in the eastern Algarve, closer to the shore. Now, this is located on the banks of the river Guiao, and it's known for its incredible history, which was primarily formed by the Romans and then the Moors. And you'll know that if you've seen Roman or Moorish architecture, it's going to be pretty stunning. Along the riverside is also a castle that is still around today. They don't build them like they used to. What's especially interesting about this region is it also features hipped roofs that are super common in Tavira's overall architecture. The old town features 21 churches. Yes, that's right, 21. It also features a great bridge that was constructed, get this, in the 17th century on top of Roman ruins. Again, they don't build them like they used to. One of the greatest ways to experience Tavira is to just walk along the river. It is such a great experience. There are palm trees, there are gardens, there's tons of color, and it is gorgeous. Ferries from this location also take you to the Ilha de Tavira, which is one of the few islands in the area that allows camping. This area also features a magnificent, pristine river called the Ria Formosa, which is another great option if you like sightseeing. Number 7. Silves. Silves is one of the most picturesque towns in the Algarve. Now, this is perched on a hilltop which overlooks a rich valley featuring orange groves, olive trees, and vineyards. It's a veritable farm, but honestly, it's kind of more like a garden of the gods. However, Silve's magnificent castle really takes the cake. It's a huge monument to Islamic control that dominated the area, and it still dominates the landscape. The castle was constructed by Moors in the 11th century, and again, they built it on top of a Roman foundation. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's accentuated by red copper walls, and some of the castle's walls are so long they reach into the nearby town. The nearby town is Xelb, X-E-L-B. I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea how to really pronounce that, but this was the Almoorish capital. This town also features a stunning Arab water cistern with an 18-meter deep well, which is the centerpiece at the Museo Arqueologico, in which many other examples of Islamic presence have been preserved. Silve is worth leisurely exploring. You don't want to take this one too quickly. The Sé, or cathedral, in this area was erected on the site of Xelb's Grand Mosque between 1242 and 1577. You can also find here the 16th century Igreja da Misericordia, and that's located across the street, and it also features a Manueline side door. The architecture here is almost otherworldly. It is extremely well made. Number 6. Serra de Moshike. I feel like my pronunciation's getting better. The Serra de Moshike, a rolling mountain range that lends a stunning perspective to the area's countryside, provides a much-needed alternative, sometimes, to the Algarve's coastal scene. Moshike is surrounded by beautiful wildflower meadows, and the slopes are also covered in chestnut and eucalyptus. The environment is absolutely gorgeous and lush. And this shaded woodland is home to a network of nature trails that extend all the way to Foia, which is the highest point in the Algarve region at 900 meters. On a clear day, you can see so far that you'll feel like you're looking at the entire world. The view encompasses the entire western area, including Lagos and Sagres, as well as a great perspective of the Atlantic Ocean. The charming hill town of Moshike is known for traditional crafts, like X-shaped folding chairs, based on a Roman design. And this makes a great base for exploring the surrounding area. Yeah, even the chairs are nice. Number 5 is Lagos. Lagos is the busiest tourist destination in the Western Algarve. It's got a lot of historical significance as well. In fact, in the 15th century, approximately 500 years before AirPods, by the way, Prince Henry the Navigator, who was later the governor of the Algarve, actually kickstarted Portugal's Age of Discovery from Lagos. And for this reason, Lagos is proud of its naval legacy, because you need to be pretty brave and have some pretty strong visions to be willing to sail and discover more in the Atlantic. It's not exactly the most comfortable place. Now, this really put Portugal on the map. Visitors will be captivated by the town's ensemble of castle walls, elegant churches, and strong sea defenses, because when you have an ocean base, you kinda need good defenses. Some of the beaches here have a background of breathtaking cliffs, caves, and grottos. And one of the best ways to experience the many tourist attractions is by taking a sightseeing cruise, which of course is done by boat. Number 4, let's move on to Albufeira. Many Algarve vacationers chose Albufeira, am I saying that right? As their destination. It is a favorite among travelers from all over Europe, and for good reason. Part of the reason why is because it's super convenient. It has one of the area's most accessible resorts. The original Albufeira, which is perched on sandstone cliffs above a large sandy bay, was once a sleepy fishing community that honestly is still pretty relaxed. It's got a number of whitewashed homes, a chapel, and a church. And if you go back even earlier in the history, the Romans, big surprise, are the ones who constructed the castle here, which the Moors, again, surprise, surprise, built onto later. Are you guys seeing a pattern here? The beaches draw most visitors to the area. They, again, are absolutely stunning. The beaches are backed by cliffs, and they've got wonderful, warm, shallow water. Super relaxing, and it feels great. And because of this warm water, Albufeira serves as the Algarve's tourism hub. It's super popular. Number 3, Quinta. Quinta was one of the first resorts to be constructed on the Algarve coast, and is kind of a lesser-known jewel in southern Portugal. This is a beachfront city that is distinguished by high-rise structures with breathtaking views of the surrounding beaches. Since the 1960s, it's become a fairly well-known vacation spot. The former fishing community has evolved into a modern tourist destination that's especially popular among Portuguese visitors. And if the locals like it, it's probably pretty good. This area also features the Algarve's most well-known marina, the Marina de Vilamura, and also fantastic dining options, and we know those are pretty important. You're gonna want to eat. Avenida Infante de Sagres, which is popularly referred to as the Marginal, is a gorgeous, lovely, palm-lined beachfront boulevard in Quinta. Many patios facing the beachfront make this a beautiful area to just stroll, let go of your stress, and relax. Number 2, Vila Moura. Vila Moura is a well-known beach resort among golfers, and especially those that want to improve their score, because there are no less than 5 championship-level golf courses located in and around the area. Some lodging establishments provide special green fees and additional benefits, such as a complimentary shuttle service if you've had too many tapas, to and from the clubhouses to guests. So again, they've got some great offerings here that are very helpful. Vila Moura is also known for having Portugal's biggest marina, with 825 total berths and space for up to 60-meter-long boats. In other words, you can bring your super yacht, and you'll probably be able to park there. We know that most of our viewers are super smart, and most of you guys tend to have super yachts, right? We're not wrong about that, right? The Esplanade is surrounded by upscale restaurants and fancy boutiques, and it's great for people watching, especially in August, when Lisbon's best dressed roam around the streets dressed to the nines. Again, you're gonna want to dress fairly well if you're strolling in this area, but you'll fit right in if you do. And you'll feel pretty fancy at the same time. This area also features many kid-friendly activities, and the boardwalk is a great starting point for a lot of coastal cruises and other water sports. Also, Praia da Marina offers pedalo rentals on the sand. The 18-hole mini golf course at the family golf park has an old Roman theme, which I'm surprised the Moors haven't built over, judging by everything else we've talked about. And nearby there are some other Roman remains, a 2nd century villa called the Museo Serra de Moshike, which has sunken baths, salt tanks, and even mosaics. The Romans have been vacationing here for a super long time, and then the Moors started vacationing here, and now people like you vacation here. It's got a long history of vacationing, and there's a good reason for that. Number 1 is Faro. The Algarve's bustling city of Faro, which is the capital, by the way, serves as the entry point for many travelers who are entering southern Portugal. Faro has a population of about 50,000 people and is also a significant center for manufacturing and industry. But like usual, most tourists will want to visit the old town. Faro's Cidade Velha is surrounded by super strong defensive walls and is built upon Roman and Moorish ruins, which again is really not a surprise because it seems like almost everything is. The Great Earthquake of 1755 caused significant damage to the town, and the majority of what you see today when you visit is from the 18th and 19th centuries. It's a little bit newer, but it's still pretty historic. The iconic church in the town is surrounded by a maze of cobblestone lanes and green squares. Again, it's got a beautiful rustic charm. It might be a little bit newer, but it still looks super cool. As you continue to explore the city, you'll come across a number of different cafes and eateries, which are tucked away and hidden between rows of older homes and artisan studios. It's a dream come true. A fantastic museum in the area also displays artifacts found nearby and beyond. There's also a small marina nearby with an adjoining esplanade, and beyond it are wetlands and lagoons, which are filled with marine life. This stunning natural park is made up of a number of islets and large sandbars, each with its own beach, which really you can't go wrong with that. And one of them is even named after the city. So to wrap all of this up, I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Your heart will be stolen by the natural beauty around you. Again, in a good way, keep that in mind. And this includes the small whitewashed villages, the Spanish border, the beautiful rivers, the tapas, let's be honest, especially the tapas, the Roman castles, which became Moorish castles, which became mini golf courses. All of this stuff can be found here. When you visit the Algarve, it feels like you spend your days hiking, visiting the beaches, and roaming cobblestone towns in the warm sun and water. And that's because you do. It's incredible. And with that said, which of these places do you want to go to next? Feel free to check them out, and if you visit them, make sure that you come back to this video and tell everyone what you thought. Again, thank you for watching. Stay tuned right here for more travel updates, and see you in the next one.